Hello and welcome to the Utah Hockey Podcast. My name is Kelly Queel. I am here with my I feel like I say delightful a lot.
It's a different adjective every time.
Co-host. I was trying to make it a different adjective every time, but here we are. My co-hosts Cole Bagley and Michael Wolf. And today we are joined with host of the Daily Faceoff, Jonny Lazarus, a hockey player himself, coming to us from New York. Hi, Jonny.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, and it's great to be talking Utah hockey.
Yeah, is that a throwback Mercyhurst University jersey I see back there? Or is that a UMass jersey that I see?
I have both, so great eye. I played my freshman and sophomore year at UMass and my junior senior year at Mercyhurst, so I try to rep both schools. The Mercyhurst one doesn't really see as much of the light of day, but good eye.
Nice. Is Mercyhurst just right there behind your head?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Which of your 7 goals there that you scored in 2019, 2020 were your favorite? Because
I don't even think I scored 7.
Which of your 7? Oh, wait. Which of your 2 goals? We're pulling it right off of Elite Prospects.
Are quizzing.
You're giving me a lot of credit there. You know what? I think I scored. I think both goals I scored were rebound, dirty goals around the crease. But
love it. I
will say, the first goal I scored that season, which actually came in the first game of the year, so I scored 1 goal the rest of the season, which is pathetic. I'll pat myself on the back because we played Arizona State. They were ranked.
Nice.
It was the first game of the year. I think they were like 19 or 20. No one gave us a chance, obviously. I scored the tying goal with like 5 minutes left in the third, and Mario Lemieux was standing in the corner of the rink because his son, Austin, I believe, was on the team. I scored a terrible rebound goal, scraped ice, jumped like right next to where Lemieux was standing in the glass where I celebrated. So that's a cool memory for me. And we ended up actually beating them with like 20 seconds left. So it was a big upset for us. So I'll say that one of the 2 that I scored that year is the most memorable.
So Mario was like, that guy's not making it in the NHL.
But I actually will say too, my roommate at Mercyhurst, Garrett Metcalf, a Utah-born hockey player, was actually on the ice with the Mammoth at development camp. He played for the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
So I do know a little bit, not a lot, about the Utah hockey, for lack of a better term, I guess, community.
Yeah.
And I do talk to Garrett from time and time again. So I get to keep up with him and hear about everything going on there. And hopefully he can get a job there. That'd be really cool. But it's cool to have that be full circle here today.
We appreciate, like when you said, is that a throwback? We appreciate you wearing some Utah Hockey Club merch too, because that's going to be OG throwback
retro
from here on out. No Mammoth stuff yet.
Yeah, I saw this in the NHL store and I was like, gotta get it. Like I was telling you guys before, I love the color scheme. I think the jerseys, and I know people feel negatively sometimes when someone says it's so clean. I don't know why people feel that way, but I think that the Utah jerseys are as crisp and as clean as they come. And I got to see the black one, the Mammoth one with the Mammoth logo on it at Fanatics Fest, and that one is pretty nice as well. So excited to see them rock the blacks on home ice this year.
Well, Jonny, you're a big hockey voice in the NHL. You're an influencer. You obviously work for the Daily Faceoff. I want to ask you, what's the buzz about the Mammoth after the inaugural season? Like, are people talking about it in hockey communities? Are they conversing about it? Like, what's being said about Utah and this new home of the NHL?
Well, Cole, I appreciate that, and I think the big thing, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but last year I actually accidentally placed a bet. I put $1,000, meant to put $100, and I put 1,000. I put the extra 0, and FanDuel like locked the bet, so I wasn't able to like cash out.
No take backs.
For Utah, no take backs. And you know what? I was like, I'm happy to ride it. I bet for Utah to make the playoffs. And, I think the roster, the way it looks right now too, like it's an exciting young roster. Clayton Keller's someone I'm very familiar with. I got to play him my freshman year. When he was at BU, he was, their best forward by far that year for the Terriers. So I followed his career closely when he was in Arizona, and now the captain, obviously, in Utah. And, I think he's a name that is starting to get talked about a little bit more when it comes to just gaining respect in the NHL. I think he's a key piece of that. Obviously, the Peterka news is huge this offseason. So with that as well, I think the excitement is growing around the team. But, even till the very end of the year, like the Mammoth were right in it. They were kind of keeping along throughout the year, and then obviously as it got to like game 70, they started to fall back a little bit. But there was hope, I think, for that fan base, right from game one. And we actually had Pat Maroon on our show after that home opener, and he said, like, it's crazy there. I'm an NBA fan as well, so I'm familiar with the Utah Jazz and the crowd that they get. So I kind of knew that there'd be a pretty good fan base in Utah. Again, like, I did get some earlier in the year because I don't necessarily think I chirped Utah, but I was like, does anyone really care about hockey there? I mean, they have the Grizzlies, but like, is it going to translate? I was guilty of saying that, and there were people, and I had never been there. And there were people in our comments like, what does this guy know? He's never even been there, like, idiot, like all that kind of stuff. And it's warranted. Like, I welcome that. So I'm hoping to get out there for a game this year. I do want to see that crowd, but from everything I've heard talking to NHL guys, like, they loved playing there and the energy was unbelievable. And it seems like the building is great too. I don't know if there are obstructed views and whatnot. It sounds like there are some, like, in the upper level. So maybe at some point they can build a hockey focused arena, because I do think it is one of those NBA focused arenas. So there might be some issues. But at least there's not a car behind one of the nets like there was in the Barclays Center for the Islanders. So I guess that's a plus.
Well, they are working on that right now. So they're in the first year of a 3-year process in the renovations. This season, there will be no more obstructed seats in the lower bowl. And then depending on how well the team does over the next 2 summers, the upper bowl will be completed and there will be 0 obstructed seats, and it will accommodate hockey and basketball really, really well. So, hopefully you can come out soon. I was able to come out and see Utah play against the Rangers last year, which
a game.
I think that was my favorite game of the season.
You have already said that, yeah.
And that's coming from a huge Penguins fan who got to go and watch Crosby score goal 600 and talk to him and all that. But there's just a different vibe and feel to Madison Square Garden and watching the Rangers, and then to hear that place just go absolutely silent when Keller scored that overtime goal. That was special, especially because it just continued all the hype and excitement around the team as, Utah remained undefeated to that point. So, no, that's interesting to hear, obviously, coming from someone such as yourself. So hopefully when you come out, Utah lives up to all the hype you've heard.
Yeah, Johnny, you talked about placing that bet. What provoked you to place that bet? Like, at what point in the season were you like, these guys are playoff bound? Obviously, $100 playoff bound, not $1,000 playoff bound. So the confidence wasn't necessarily
as high as
it wasn't as high as the bet said it was. But what provoked you to do that? What did you see?
It was mostly vibes. I kind of run high on vibes. I'm a sucker in that sense. But I also think, like, the Coyotes, the excitement around a new organization, a new building, a new city. I had spoke to Clayton Keller a little bit at Player Media Tour in Vegas when he was out there, doing all the interviews and whatnot. And he just seemed fired up. Like, again, for these guys, they were, I don't want to say like a joke, but they were the butt end of a joke for a couple of years. And, I think having that fresh look, a fresh start. And I'd spoke to Josh Doan about it a little bit too when they were actually in New York, taking on the Rangers. And he said, like, it just feels different. And sometimes, that goes a long way and it translates when your life is, put together off the ice. It just helps translate on the ice. And, I know guys love living in Arizona. Like, it's a great lifestyle there, but again, like, they didn't feel like they were in the National Hockey League. So to get that back again, and to feel the pride of the community and to have all the excitement around the league built around this team, it was pretty easy to have faith in them. And obviously young stars like Gunther as well. I thought they did a good job adding to their blue line. I thought their goaltending was solid. It wasn't like incredible, but Vizmelka was a guy who was pretty strong in Arizona on a poor team. So I thought maybe with a better blue line in front of him, things will go well. And honestly, if Jersey doesn't get hurt, if they don't see the injuries that they have throughout the year, like, maybe it is a different story. They could have made it. But the bet was mainly on vibes. And again, like, it seems like a fun team to root for, right? And I think that's something that's so important as well. Like, having guys that you have pride in every single night, and guys that represent your city.
Yeah, and I think Utah, was kind of a strong point, is that the players, most of the roster players, were just easy guys to root for, guys that you want to see win. And I guess follow up on that question, is that a bet you would make right now?
Season 2.
Not 1,000.
Seeing what they've done in this offseason, is that a bet that you'd make?
Listen, I think they're. How much would I bet? Again, like they're in a tough division, right? Like the Central's loaded. You got Winnipeg, who just won the President's Trophy. Dallas, Colorado, Minnesota. Was pretty strong this year. If Kaprizov was healthy all year, who knows what they look like the entire season.
Yeah.
So the odds are definitely stacked against them. But in the Pacific, like outside of Vegas, Edmonton, and LA, and even Edmonton, I don't want to say they're a question mark because they have the best player in the world, and Leon Draisaitl obviously is up there as well. But like, I don't think Edmonton is a shoe-in the top 3. I think Utah, if anything, would be a wild card team, and honestly, I think everyone that's there should be okay with that. Like, I think I'm just speaking for you maybe by accident, but when you just want to see that team get in the playoffs, no matter how. I don't think it matters in year 2. But I might throw like maybe that same 100, or I didn't do it, but $100 again on Utah, just because, like I said, getting Peterka is exciting. Clayton Keller put up 90 points last year, and that's like so under the radar.
30-60. It was a very satisfying
Was it? It was a perfect 30-60?
Yeah,
that is
nice. So nice.
I think Nick Schmaltz is a great player too. Who else am I missing here? Like Logan Cooley, obviously. Yeah. How could I forget about him? Sergachev in the back end. Ian Cole, I think, is a steady blue liner. Who else did they get this offseason? Am I missing somebody?
Schmidt. They got
Nate
Brandon
Schmidt
Tanev.
is a good signing. Brandon Tanev on the fourth line as well. This is a fun group, and I'd be more than happy to throw $100 on it. I would not be happy to throw $1,000.
Well, obviously,
John Marino, another one I forgot about too.
Yeah,
that was last year.
I'm curious. Obviously we're talking about it a little bit, but just kind of want to dive in a little bit more and get your perspective on the additions that they made. This season, if you ask anybody in the front office, this year was not necessarily about taking that massive swing for a Marner or a Bennett or what have you. Not that those guys hit the market really, anyways, but it was more about adding depth and addressing needs from year 1. So they go out and they trade for Peterka, right? They get another young goal scorer who had nearly 70 points to bolster that top 6. They add Brandon Tanev and Nate Schmidt and Vanacek to add depth, to their roster. And now they're bringing up guys like Boot and Simashev from their prospect pool to continue, to take steps forward in that rebuild. What do you like about this team a year after the inaugural season, now that they've gone through free agency and made a couple trades to help take that step towards the playoffs and hopefully get in, like you said, as a wild card?
I mean, I'll tell you what, I'm taking their forward group over at least like 3 or 4, maybe 5 forward groups in the NHL off the top of my head, like Chicago, Buffalo, probably San Jose. Who else comes to mind? Maybe even the Islanders right now. Not to throw that might sound like it's shade, but I'm not trying to throw shade at them. Even Pittsburgh, like that's 5 teams right there off the top of my head. Like I'm putting Utah's forward group ahead of those guys. And, to plug UMass a little bit, they got a hell of a goalie coming in soon too as well. And Michael Hrabal, like he's going to be one of the more highly touted prospects this year, I think, in college hockey. It's great that he's coming back for a 3rd year. I think you might have to fact check me on this, but he's probably the first ever goalie to beat Canada in back-to-back quarterfinals in the World Junior. I don't know if that's been done before.
It sounds good, right? So.
Yeah, again, he's a kid I've been around a lot. Like, there's a lot of excitement in that front. Not that Ingram and Pamelka aren't stable, but like it's a young goalie to be excited about in the near future. And I don't know much about is it Desharnais? How do you pronounce his name? Desnoyers. Like, I don't know much about him, to be honest. I haven't watched him really much this year, so I can't speak truthfully to the excitement he'll bring. But again, like everything you see, this isn't like a over-aging roster. It's a young, up-and-coming guys who are about to enter their peak kind of team. Like even their top line, it's who? Keller, Cooley, Gunther. Like, that's a pretty loaded top line. Like I'll take that
Peterka
against
and Hayton.
Yeah, like I'll take that top 6 up against most teams in the NHL. Not like the elite teams, right? Like you got to be a little bit realistic. But like, there's elite, there's great, there's good, there's mid, there's bad. Like, and I'm saying they're like in the good, So, again, like there's only, I think there's so much hope to be had for this team. Like it shouldn't be, even if they don't make the playoffs again this year, it shouldn't be a disappointment.
I think one of the things we've discussed a lot on this podcast is this group that the Florida Panthers has that has gone back to back and won 2 championships in a row, and the style of hockey that they've brought to the NHL, it feels like it's scrappy, it's fast paced, it's just as your goal was scored, very scrappy right in front of Mario Lemieux, right? It's like leaving it all on the ice as much as possible. What kinds of things do you feel like the Panthers have brought to the league that Utah needs to kind of focus on acquiring too?
Yeah, and just to be clear, nothing about my game resembled anything of the Florida Panthers. But, you know, I think it's tough, right? Like everyone says you need these big, tough guys who are heavy on the forecheck and whatnot, but they're also skilled players. You know, these are guys, Brad Marchand, Sam Bennett, like they were skilled guys that played the game hard in their previous stops. But now when you put it all together, it's just like the thing I compared it to, again, I wasn't alive for it, but I watched it in the Last Dance documentary. Like they're the Pistons of the late 80s, like the bad boys, right? Like, is that, you said that as well, Michael?
That's his team.
The Pistons?
I think that's a great comparison. The Pistons obviously probably maybe a little better, but I do agree.
They only won one though, didn't they? Only win one championship?
They won 2.
Oh, they won 2?
Yep. 89 and 90. So.
Oh, they did back to back. Okay,
yep.
so even more so.
Yeah.
Okay. But, you know, with that, again, like, I think 4 years in a row, you can probably correct me here, they beat Michael Jordan and the Bulls. And right now, the Panthers are the team standing in the way of Connor McDavid and the Oilers.
That's
like, it's kind of like a similar storyline.
Comparison.
Yeah, it's a pretty similar storyline.
Yeah.
You know, so, again, like, Michael Jordan and Connor McDavid and all these skilled guys, they could be the best players in the world, which they are. But when you play against a group that not only has skill, but cannot be intimidated, how do you beat that? I don't know how you beat that. And that's, again, like the whole which game is it? It was probably game 3 when the Oilers were doing the whole third period shtick of like trying to bully the Panthers. And, you know, I think it was Greer and other guys who just kind of Nikola who like laughed in their face. Like that's why I gave the Oilers such a hard time, because that's not the Oilers game. Like that's when the Panthers knew they had them beat. Like you can play tough and you can try to be physical, but you're never going to out intimidate that Florida Panther team. I don't care who you are.
No.
And to me, that's the scary thing. So for Utah, like if they can find guys who have the snarl with the skill, they have the skill, but like, is Clayton Keller scaring anyone physically? Probably not. Yeah. Is Logan Cooley scaring anyone physically? Probably not. And that's no disrespect to them, but it's just not their DNA, at least right now. Maybe you can find a coach that can bring it out in them, but it's a very special team in Florida. And I think, you know, I'm one of the people who, again, like I'm not criticizing the teams that have lost to Florida. I am at the place where I'm praising everything that they've done, because again, they've shut down Kucherov, they've shut down Pasternak, they've shut down Panarin, they limited McDavid, limited Draisaitl. Like they are doing it to the best players in the league. So does anyone have the answer? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge intimidation factor, and I think I think the rest of the league's starting to figure it out, right? They're trying to do these things, and specifically for Utah, I think that's what we're seeing in the prospect pool. You know, this last year they didn't draft a single player under I think 6 foot, 6'1".
Building a forest is what we're saying in Utah. They're just
building a what?
Building a forest, planting a bunch of very tall,
just trees,
tall men.
I mean, they're 2 prospects that we'll probably see this season. Daniil Boot is 6'7", and Dmitry Simashev is 6'5", and another player that might crack the roster in Cole Beaudoin, I think he's 6'2", 6'3", and then Caleb Denoyer is like 6'2", 6'3". So it's
and then Denoyer's teammate Gabe Smith, who I think also has a lot of promise. He's 6'5",
6'5", 6'6".
Just a bunch of units out there. Yeah, I think that's what they were looking for.
So John, I did want to ask you another question, a little bit off topic. I obviously loved my trip out to New York last year. Can you kind of tell the people why New York City is a place that they should circle on their road trips this season if they are wanting to go watch the Mammoth play at MSG?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird, right? Because like sometimes I don't appreciate it because I'm here every day. And New York City does. If you're on TikTok and you're hearing about New York City, it's just about how it's gross, the rats, the subway sucks. Like you're hearing all the gross parts about it. But like, again, the time of the year I think also makes a difference. Like Cole, you came in the And the best fall in New York City is the best time of year. Like, yeah, college football in the air, the bars are crowded, there's people everywhere, the energy in the city is up because summer is honestly like way too hot. Like people just leave the city. If you're coming in fall or spring, like Christmas is, I know there's this whole lore about Christmas in New York, but I think it's kind of overrated, to be honest. But again, like New York City has everything. It's got restaurants, it's got bars, it's got live music, it's got comedy clubs. It's got theater. It's got like you can do so many different things here. Like, it's funny. I actually went to the Upper West Side, which is like considered far. It's a 20-minute Uber. But I was with one of my friends, Josh. We got an Italian lunch, and then he just brought me to the natural history of or the Museum of Natural History. Like just randomly on a Saturday, we just popped in and like watched the Tom Hanks planetarium video and like did a tour and whatever, and then went to a bar out. Like you can just do so much in one day. Yeah. There's honestly so many things you can do in a day. And if you haven't been to New York, it's tough for me to like sell one specific thing. You kind of have to come here to feel the energy, I guess. Cole, you could probably speak more to that. Yeah. I mean, how many days were you here for?
I was in New York for 6 days.
6 days?
Which was awesome because I did the whole trip.
And you probably didn't see half of it.
Oh, yeah. Not even. But it was amazing because like, well, I was on Long Island and I was in Newark. Utah fans, you don't need to go to Newark. But I was obviously in the city for the Rangers game, and there's just this like Madison Square Garden is just like a temple to sports and hockey. To hear the Rangers fans and the chants and, to hear the New York accent.
Best goal song in the NHL by far.
For sure. And you recommended that sandwich.
The prime rib.
Yeah. Holy cow.
What's $25 prime rib?
It is one of
it's
the
like, go, hey. Come on, you know it.
Yeah, you know it.
I don't.
But that sandwich
no way.
is unreal. That's probably the best like in arena food I've ever had. And you just can't beat like I was eating New York style pizza for like every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yep. Elite.
Occasionally a bagel here and there.
Sbarro then.
Went to Times Square. Yeah, Sbarro.
I'm gonna kill you.
I didn't even mention the garden in what I was saying, honestly. Like, it's kind of like that's just the thing that brings it all together. Like you said, Cole. Like MSG is just it's weird because I actually thought this year was like the worst Ranger crowd that I've kind of experienced, but also like the fans hated the team this year, and I don't blame them. Like what they saw on the ice did not, deserve the applause. I mean, that first game, it was the home opener, so it's different. But and that game had everything. It had goals, fights, action nonstop. Yeah. But Ranger fans they're brutal. Like in New York, you love them when they're good, you hate them when they're bad, and they let you hear it. Like that team got booed off the ice a lot this year, and rightfully so. But again, like if you've never been to Madison Square Garden, highly recommend it. The food amazing, atmosphere amazing, and I mean it's called the best city in the world for a reason, right? Like it's awesome. MSG and New York City is incredible.
I mean, we were in the arena this year for the Rangers here, and it felt like a Rangers home game. I mean, a lot of those original 6 teams obviously travel well anyway, but it was unreal to see that many Rangers fans. And then we were like, hockey club was beating them significantly, and the Rangers started coming back really slowly, and the mood started to shift, and all of a sudden all the Rangers fans are standing and chanting and all the things. They were doing the goal song without any audio. They were just singing the goal song in the stands. But it's been fun to kind of experience that. We've never had it. So
before we let you go, Jonny, I'm curious, do you have a hot take for the league as a whole this year, whether that's who's going to win the cup or who's going to miss the playoffs or who's going to take a big step? And then do you have a hot take for the Mammoth on, again, who could take a big step, whether it's Cooley or Gunther or, maybe they make the playoffs? I would love to hear, those.
My hot take for the league is that the Anaheim Ducks make the playoffs. Very high in the Anaheim Ducks. As far as the Mammoth go, hot take would be, and again, this is just like off the top of my head. Let's say Logan Cooley, 90 points.
Ooh. Yeah.
I don't know if that's hot, honestly. Is that considered hot?
I mean, he had 65. That'd be a 25-point jump.
But what did he have his first year? He finished with 44.
He also missed games.
Yeah.
He also missed quite a few games. Yeah,
he's not
still.
going to get 25 points.
44 points rookie year. Last year, 65 and 75. Like, I think that's a pretty significant jump, 25 more points. But I think it's doable. I don't think that's that hot, honestly. I can come up with something better, probably. Maybe Clayton Keller first 100-point season. Has he had 100 yet?
He had 90. That was the highest.
Yeah.
If Clayton Keller gets 100 and Logan Cooley gets 90, Utah's going to the playoffs.
Yeah, then throw that grand
If they don't,
grand
that's a
down
big
at
problem.
that point.
Yeah. Yeah. 100% agree.
All right, we'll go that with the hot take. We'll do Keller 100 points as the hot take.
There you go.
Love it.
Heard it first from Johnny.
Lock that in.
We appreciate you so much. We would love to get you out to a game this year. Utah's a fun place to be. I've been playing hockey in Utah for 20 years, so I'm glad that y'all recognize that we've been out here playing for a while. Cole too.
Yeah,
I know nothing about Salt Lake City. Like, I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
Like, seriously.
It's
I'd
a
love to
very
come out.
underrated town, and I think a lot of people are starting to realize that with, kind of the spotlight that it's had on it over the last decade. Because
from the Utah Mammoth to the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yeah, that's true.
I've seen that. I've seen that.
Don't watch that. That is not what you.
It's not very relatable for me, but I've watched it. Not by choice.
That is not Utah.
I think it keeps the right people out.
It does.
But I'm also like I'm not a skier though.
Yeah.
So also I had no reason to really go out there. But I do love the mountains. Like, I feel like in the summer, is it cool in the summer to go?
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, unreal. I mean, the ski resorts and whatever are all open, so you can take a tram up, and it's just wildflower season right now is stunning. You'll breathe hard because you're from low elevation.
That's the cool thing though about Utah is it's got like every ecosystem.
Totally.
Like you've got
if you want to go fishing, we got a lot of fishing.
You got the snow. You've got the Red Rocks down in southern Utah. That
what are the road teams that visit saying about it? Like, you guys talk to, I'm sure, media members that are flying out to cover their teams when they're in Utah. Like, are they all caught by surprise that haven't been there before of how beautiful and incredible it is?
Yeah, I mean, that was like one of the bigger storylines all season long, and usually like all the reporters. We'd always, if a big name was in town or a big team, we'd always go to the opposing locker room and be like, so you've been here for 24 hours. What do you think?
Yeah.
And it was always really positive. It was always, it's beautiful here. And it was funny. Nathan McKinnon did not hold back. He was like, I hate Arizona. I'm so glad that they're out of there. Now they're here. It's a much better. Yeah, I was like, oh, geez, go off, man.
Yeah.
The
Bruins were golfing.
Yeah.
A bunch of teams went golfing.
They all loved the practice facility at the Oval because you had the speed skating and the track and, the ice.
Yeah, there's that video that I think that somebody got of Patrick Kane using the speed skating rink to warm up. Yeah.
Yeah, and a couple
you can do like laps around the hockey rink because it's just this massive.
Yeah. Usually a player.
I've seen the videos, but I didn't see the Kane one. That's hilarious.
It'll be even bigger now, especially I think the appeal of the practice facility will grow because it was cool to be at an Olympic training facility as where opposing teams would come even a day before they played in Utah. But now they're building I think he said it's a multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art practice facility.
Yeah, it's supposed to be top 3 or top 5.
It's like 20 minutes down the highway from the stadium, so fairly close, right in the epicenter of where all the action.
Arguably the best mountain views from the practice facility too. It's gonna be
beautiful.
Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you do get a chance to come out this season, let us know. We got plenty of recommendations. Hopefully, I mean, winter is great, but I think Utah's great in the fall.
I'd
prefer it in the spring.
Yeah. Let us buy you dinner or lunch while you're here, and we'll show you around the city if you want. We're literally like a par 3 away from the stadium right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. If this window didn't have
open.
A building,
beautiful studio.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Johnny, this was so much fun. Thanks for jumping on with us. Hopefully I'll see you in New York this year. That is definitely a road trip that I will be making every single season because it is just so good. Mm-hmm. And then if you come out here, let us know, and we'll give you the full
the Salt City Fun treatment.
Yeah.
Well, the schedule drops tomorrow, no? So
yeah,
I'll find out when the Rangers are in town, and if it fits, I definitely want to get out there. I mean, there are still so many arenas I haven't been to that I'm dying to get to. So Utah's definitely toward the top of those lists.
Yeah.
You'd be able
especially
to see,
again, like that atmosphere last year. It looked incredible. I still remember, I was watching, the first game against Chicago, and when Gunther scored that goal, the crowd pop was
so freaking awesome.
It was
cool.
Everybody was waiting for something to cheer for, and then he does it, and it was just everybody let it go.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was him too, he just signed that deal too, right?
8 years in Utah. Yeah. Everybody was stoked.
Yeah.
Storybook.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was surprising and unsurprising. And I've said that all year because like I grew up in the hockey community here in Utah and it was pretty small. But so that's why it was surprising, I think, but it was unsurprising because as Ryan Smith has said, Utah shows up. They just we have this crazy amount of pride about our state,
community
and
sure,
community and each other, and supporting anything that has to do with Utah, and the fact that they wore Utah on their sweaters home and away last season, and they're keeping that for the away. Like that just speaks volumes to what Utah is, and yeah, it's I think it was shocking but not shocking in a lot of ways, and it was so much fun, and Utah is definitely a must-see, I think, hockey town now.
Yeah.
Is there anyone in the NHL from Utah? I think was
Trevor Lewis.
Is Daniel Brickley a name from? Is he from Utah? Daniel Brickley. I think he played
not familiar to me.
Trevor Lewis.
I played against him in junior. He went to Minnesota State Mankato. I forgot who drafted him, but he was a nasty defenseman. I don't know if he played in the NHL or not. But who's the one?
Trevor Lewis.
Trevor Lewis.
Yep.
Yes, Daniel Brickley is from Salt Lake.
But there will be, I'm sure there will be, a kid we're talking about from Utah, and
that's the hope.
Yeah, Brickley's from Salt Lake.
Cole and I have voiced you in the youth program, so coming up draft, they're 6-4 right now, so
that's awesome.
Looks like Daniel's in Finland right now. He played
Finland?
last season.
Did he play an NHL game?
Yeah, he played for the Kings for a couple of games. I think he got 5 games in, and then he was in Ontario for a little bit, bumped around in the AHL, ECHL, and then played in Sweden, and most recently played in Finland. So he was really good. Pretty good career when you consider. I have the utmost respect for anyone who's played any level of college or professional hockey.
You're just saying that because I'm on here right now with college.
No, we say that a lot.
No. It's a tough sport to play,
especially Hockey East.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think most especially like Mercyhurst University grads just kind of.
Specifically, people who have scored.
You're the only person I think who's
2.
ever asked me about Mercyhurst. Everyone just asked about UMass.
Well, I just thought that's where you ended your college career. So
yeah.
Something about hockey players named Johnny, right?
I know. Johnny, thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Happy to come on whenever. And I'll reach out when I see that schedule drop tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
That'd be good.
Thanks,
bro.
Well, so cool of Johnny to come on the Utah Hockey Podcast. I appreciate that he called himself out several times about not having any faith in us, because nobody had any faith in us. And then I think we showed him up. And by we, I mean the players and me, not affiliated at all. But I did show up to games, and I did cheer for them a lot and speak loudly on the internet positive things about them. What'd you guys think?
I thought it was awesome. It's cool to hear national perspective about something that, especially a lot of our listeners, it's so local here. The hockey fan base, if you're a Utah hockey fan, it is very rare that you don't live in Utah. And so I don't know. It's cool to see. It's cool to hear perspective from somebody who is in a bigger market, has been around hockey his entire life, and has been in hockey from a professional content and analyst standpoint for a long time. So really appreciate Johnny for coming on, and I think we should all be hedging our metaphorical bets on the Utah Hockey Club, because we can't do that in Utah. So yeah,
I like that story a lot. That's pretty great, even though he lost a grand.
Yeah, Johnny's awesome. I was fun to kind of hear him talk a little bit more about, just what the overall perspective is around the league. Like, Johnny's a big name in the NHL. Like, he's one of their primary influencers. He works for the Daily Faceoff. His voice carries pretty far. And, to hear someone like, it's not something that we're used to here, right? Like, I don't know of any NBA people that are going to talk that highly of the Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
But, hockey's just different. And I hope that Johnny does get an opportunity to come out here, because I think that will, it really impress him even more than what he's just heard. So.
All right. Well, you talked about how Johnny told you to get that specific sandwich. We don't even have to talk about stadium food specifically. If you're trying to impress somebody in Utah with a restaurant or with a specific dish at a restaurant, where are you bringing him? If Johnny comes here and we're like, let's go to lunch, where are we taking him?
I'm bringing him to your house, so you decide.
Okay.
That's literally what I would do.
You guys are from here, dude.
Have you been to Walters?
No.
Oh, Italian. It's just over a couple blocks from here. It was started by a guy who's from Italy. I think he's from Tuscany. And super authentic, like as close to Italian food as you can get. I think Johnny's Italian.
He's from New York, so probably.
It's a New Yorker thing.
Yeah. I think you have to be Italian to be from there. Actually.
Probably,
just
especially with a name like Johnny.
Yeah,
I also just think that people who are from out of town don't necessarily have the same vibes or taste as people who are in Salt Lake. Like, we love Woodbine pizza. Mm-hmm. And then people from out of town are like, that's not the best pizza. But it's like a local preference kind of a thing.
So that's good.
Right. But I just mean like,
I would not take him to Cromberger.
I don't, that's what I was just about to say. I just wouldn't take them to places that I like.
When I think about Utah and Utah cuisine, I feel like you would have to get if I'm going to take somebody to get a burger, it's got to be a pastrami burger because that's a Utah like shtick, and pastrami belongs on burgers. And if you've never had a pastrami on a burger, what's wrong with you? Because it's fantastic. I would probably have to take him somewhere like Thirst to get a drink.
I was just about to say it's like a swig.
It's like it's like dumb. And
he said he's watched Real Housewives and Secret Lives.
The Secret Lives.
Yeah, so
I'm not sure he identifies with it super well.
No, but he's familiar with the concept, which I think you have to experience. Have I told you guys the guys who were in town from New York? Have I told you this?
No.
When I was at Swig, because that is a special treat, we were going through Swig. 2 dudes from Long Island were outside of Swig because
where Johnny's from?
My Swig doesn't have an inside. So they pulled up in an Uber thinking that they could go inside, and they couldn't. So they had to stand outside. So this man from Long Island is FaceTiming his daughter. He's with his son. They're head to toe in like Utah tourist attire, like snowbird hat, whatever. What
were they here for?
It was funny. Don't know. It was late winter, so I think they were here for skiing. I don't think it was the same weekend. I don't think it was the same weekend because I was there. But
probably just here to ski.
This guy is loudly FaceTiming his daughter who's on Long Island. He goes, "No, we can't even go in there. No, that's all they have, Kara. That's all they have. That's all they have is just the sodas and the creams." And then was like reading the rest of the menu kind of like loudly out loud to her. And then the son would butt in every now and then and be like, "And they have cookies." No, they had cookies too. That's all they had. But there's a line around the block, Kara. You would not believe. And I just got the biggest kick out of these people who have never experienced Utah like that.
Yeah,
because I don't really relate to the swig thing either. Like I go every now and then, but
I feel like when you go to other cities like in New York, like New Yorkers are like, you have to go to this place,
they
right?
all
and
know.
Here I feel like it's kind of hard.
I do too.
Because I don't feel like there is a lot of like really true Utah stuff that people from out of state have to experience.
But I do think
but there's activities, right? Like there's skiing in
say.
southern Utah and Temple Square. And
whereas
all
in New York,
stuff.
they're like, focus on the food.
Right.
When you come to Utah, they're like, focus on the things.
Yeah.
And the food is fine. And you can find good pizza here. There is good pizza that New Yorkers would appreciate. Stuff like Villaggio, stuff like Lucky Slice House up on Foothill. And you can argue with me about those, but you're wrong. And but I do feel like it's here in Utah, the food is almost like, it's not a
secondary
joke, but it's kind of it's just like a little sticky thing that you can go and check out. That's
like you show them fry sauce. And
yeah.
Like, yeah, cool.
Fry sauce is great. I think they should try pastrami burger, and I do like Crown Burger.
Me too.
So,
I would take anybody for a
but
hike.
People will like die on a hill that it's the best thing. And I'm like, it's just okay.
No, if I'm looking to clog my arteries, I will go slam.
Crown Burger.
I can finish 2 pastrami burgers from Crown Burger, and it's fantastic, and I love it, and I feel great about myself afterwards.
When I feel like
Crown Burger took my gallbladder, guys. This is a real fact.
Geez.
I had Crown Burger and then I had my gallbladder removed.
Well, because in Utah, I feel like the restaurants that you would like recommend are like chains.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I'm in New York. Hey, go to this, like, go to 3rd Street and there's this little hole in the wall pizza joint that's been there for 100 years.
Yeah. Maybe go try something like Sol Agave.
Right.
If you want like a really good steak, there's a couple of really good steakhouses here. So
is there like a food that, because like you go to New York, like you got to get pizza, right?
Yes.
You go to New York, you got to get bagels. Like
here, genuinely, I think it's just 30 sodas. It's dirty sodas. I think of fry sauce.
Yeah.
Pastrami burgers. I don't know. Please leave mean comments if we're missing stuff. But these two are from Utah, originally lived their whole lives here. So the fact that they can't list things, I think, is telling.
I can list 8 hikes off the top of my head that I would take him on.
I do.
I think even like going snowshoeing in the middle of winter is more fun than skiing sometimes. Like, I just think you can have fun whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Like if Johnny comes...
I'm biased because I can ski, but I'm not going to send him on the slopes is what I'm saying.
Like if Johnny comes in the middle of winter and he doesn't like to ski, I'd be like, but go to Park City.
Yeah.
Like go walk down Main Street. There's a bunch of good food. There's a bunch of good restaurants and bars. Like
galleries.
Main Street's beautiful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
also, downtown Salt Lake City is like pretty clean and nice, and there's stuff to do. I don't know. I
send him to
agree.
City Creek.
It's more of a thing to go in. It's more of things to do rather than things.
It's
to
the
eat.
outdoors.
Yeah.
Go experience the outdoors.
Yeah,
right.
Because people from New York, I get that there is outdoors in the state of New York, in the city of New York. They don't get it.
No.
And the people that do get it come here.
Well,
to
there's the
experience
park. That's like it.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Are you talking about Central Park?
Touristy.
Gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
But it's and I experienced Central Park in the fall. Like I was there a week and a half before you were. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Not the outdoors.
No.
So
I had fun on Long Island too.
Yeah.
Like and everybody talked like you were talking, and I went in.
That's not even Rhode Island and Long Island are similar.
Yeah.
Like Rhode Island and New York are similar, but I can hear New Jersey and Boston.
Yeah. Yeah. Boston was cool too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like Long Island, I just went to this little podunk pizza joint, and this guy's like, "Where are you guys from?" And I'm like, "We're like Utah." He's like, "You here for the game?" We're like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, half off." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "Free drinks." I'm like, "Great, this is awesome." So it was fun.
Cole went stumbling into the game that night.
On his dirty soda.
On my Mountain Dew.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he probably was expecting us to get something else, but he didn't realize who he had in his shop.
All right. Exciting things happening. Well, things happening in the world of Utah hockey this morning. As we're recording this podcast, you guys will hear this in a day or a couple days. Michael Carone re-signs in Utah, extended in Utah. Mm-hmm. Initial reactions. How are we feeling about it? I can go first, and I can give my take first.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be the nicest about it.
I kind of like the signing. I know that there was the relationship from last season, we could tell from his exit interview, it didn't end well. It may have ended, it was a professional relationship. Hockey's a business, all those things, very true. Clearly there was some animosity between the player and the organization, not getting as many minutes, not getting placement on the lines that he wanted, whatever it was. He moved his family here at a moment's notice and came and played hockey for Utah. I know that they moved, obviously, probably moving back for the season at least. I like the idea of having a player who can come and play third and fourth line minutes that has something to prove, because open market wise, there wasn't an insane amount of interest from what I've heard.
Much.
That means he's coming back, and this is a prove it contract. It's make or break. So I love the idea of having a player that Michael Carone is not a bad hockey player by any means. He's fast. He's got a good shot. So given the right positioning on the right lines in the right situation, I really feel like he could produce at a decent level, and then maybe just find his way to a different team next year, however that looks. I like the idea of having a player who's that hungry on a deep line. I know that a lot of fans are going to feel differently about it, but I also have this, I think, natural affinity towards players who are just here in Utah regardless. So I know that the relationship didn't end well. I get that, but I also like the idea of having more competition in training camp. There's going to be more. There's more players, more talented players. I think is better. So who knows? Maybe he doesn't see a ton of ice time this year, but I think the time that he does see, I see it as an insurance just in case rookies aren't ready to go.
Mm-hmm. I think just like you said, proving something a little bit more this season. I just thought he did well for the Mammoth. I was a fan all season. I was rooting for him. He really was a clutch player. He came in a lot of times and either threw some punches when he needed to, roughed people up when he needed to, and he also had enough goals and assists that we were pretty happy. I do think he was unhappy with the amount that he played because he said so. But when you're looking at that and then you open yourself up to free agency and get no bites, I mean, or, just aren't happy with what you were offered or whatever the case may be, I think, just like you said, make or break on Utah this season. And if it doesn't work out, you got to make yourself know your role, make yourself expensive.
Yeah. And 19 points over 53 games played. Not bad by any means, but
53 games. That's his number.
Exactly. That's probably what they were trying to do.
Yeah, they were trying to match everybody to their number.
Cole is going to be our realist.
Please grade this for us.
Yep. Article you already wrote, or no, you didn't write about this because it just happened. Never mind.
Happened.
You can live grade this for us.
C.
Oh boy.
C minus.
C for Carone.
There's always positives and negatives to everything, right?
Sure.
You got to look at it from every aspect. I think what's good about this is he's probably really cheap. He's probably under $1 million. Like my guess is it's the same money that he was on over the last 3-4 seasons in Arizona, which was $775.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a positive. Like Michael, like you were talking about, I think he probably comes in pretty fired up because I think he was hoping that there was going to be a bigger market for him, and I think returning to Utah is kind of a signal that there really wasn't.
Yeah.
What I think is interesting about it is like you brought back Yamamoto, so I don't understand the need for Carone necessarily.
I feel that.
And the amount of points that he had last season, like I think his role is very much a scratch.
Yeah.
Like I don't know that he's going to play that many games. Like I don't know if he's going to even get up to what he played last season. I think that was very situational because they started to see some injuries later in the year and they needed a body and he did great, like for his role.
Yeah.
I think he was hoping to play a lot more based on what he did the previous year, which was, I think he had like 21 goals.
Yeah, he played 74 games, had 21 goals, 8 assists, so 29 points.
I think that's about as good as he's ever going to produce. I think if he can continue to do what he did, where he's giving you about 20 points, great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is that average? Like close to half a point a game, a little bit under that.
Yeah.
That's what you want a guy. He's a little bit undersized, but he does have a big, like he's not just a bark, like he bites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he dropped the gloves, I think, a couple times and, he could deliver some hits. So I like that about him. But it's an interesting deal. And we'll see how it all kind of comes together. Like you kind of talked about, I think it's more of an opportunity for him to play in case Boot isn't ready, in case Baudouin doesn't make the roster.
Yeah.
Because as we talked about, like we're looking at this and it's like, okay, who are you leaving out at this point? And I foresee him being left out, even if Boot's not quite not ready to go. It's because it's probably going to come down to like him and Liam O'Brien, who are fighting for that kind of playing time. And obviously Carone had a lot more points, but I just felt like there was this really valuable energy that O'Brien brought when he played. Like the team just usually played better when he was out there because he would just, it was just 110 miles an hour every single shift. It was hustle. It was digging in the corners. And not that Carone didn't do that, but Liam's a little bit bigger. Like, yes, Carone has a bite, but Liam O'Brien is a bigger frame, a bigger size. He's a little bit meaner.
Yeah.
And that energy just seemed to kind of trickle down throughout everybody. So
I think it's easier to see him as more of a locker room guy too. I think the exit interview kind of showed his disappointment, which can translate to kind of some disappointment in the locker room.
Yeah, and maybe rightfully
too.
disappointed too.
Yeah.
I mean, played a lot more games the season before. Maybe felt that he deserved more time over other players. So definitely, like, I don't feel any sort of like I guess from a fan's perspective, I just don't feel like fans just feel a ton of animosity towards him, and I think we should just see what happens.
Yeah,
especially because training camp is right around the corner, and we're going to see what the organization does in the first place. I think generally fans trust Bill Armstrong, so I like the move. I think it is more of an insurance thing to see who makes the roster. I think we're all pretty high on some of the younger guys, but players take time to develop, and you need players like this on contracts like this. It gives an opportunity to prove themselves in the league, and it also gives you a roster player who can come in and play minutes and produce.
There was a big difference, and I agree, there shouldn't be any, I think, animosity or what have you towards him, but I hope that he doesn't come in and experience similar frustrations, because I think he was probably going to play even less than he did last year, and he played, 21 games fewer in 24-25 than he did in 23-24, and it's because they took a step forward. Mm-hmm. You had Dylan Guenther playing a full season last year. You had Josh Doan come in and prove that he needed to play. Now you've got Peterka, and you've got, who
is
Simashev,
going to play the entire
and you've got Boot, and who knows, maybe Baudouin makes the roster.
I'm high on Cole Baudouin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too. So
another Cole B in the community.
It's good stuff.
Bags and Bodes.
Yeah, he goes by Bodes.
Bodes
and Bags.
Bodes and Bags.
That's a good podcast. You guys should
segment.
do it.
Cole, come on the podcast.
So anyway, that's
Cole and Cole.
It's not a bad signing. I don't understand it, and I think that's why I more so lean towards like meh. But yeah, it's less than $1 million. It's 1 year. I would assume that he does not get re-signed next season, because again, then you're stepping into a year where it's like, okay, again, let's probably knocking on the door, and maybe Denoyer makes a big jump in his game, and he's knocking on the door, and I think Baudouin for sure makes it next season. Like, and Boot probably is not having to develop any longer in the AHL, and he's with the roster. So, and that's I think why they've done a lot of these signings strategically, where it's 1 year deals, and then they're done, they're off the books, and you can now,
we have gotten quite a bit of friendly term. I think, with the exception of maybe the Jack McBain contract that is longer, a lot of friendly term. Mm-hmm. So Bill Armstrong's done a good job in that aspect. So I like the signing. I think it's good.
It's like a commitment issue.
Yeah,
it's like just like a year.
Yeah,
try it out.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I feel like I can't even be mad about it. It's like, cool.
Yeah,
another player for a year on a really cheap contract. Somebody that you can send to the AHL, and maybe he goes on waivers and ends up somebody else. And
It's not bad. It's not bad by any means. It's more just interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See what happens.
Like I said, they signed Yamamoto, so why are we bringing in Carone? But whatever. Yeah, like you said, it's another body that, if called upon and needed, can jump in, knows the culture, knows the system, and will probably continue to make it like training camp is going to be insane. It's going to be so competitive, and now you're throwing in a guy that has a big chip on his shoulder that was frustrated with the amount of games he played last season. He's going to push some people's buttons
and try to prove himself.
Yeah, it's
going to
be competitive. So
I like, come in and be a rat for us.
Yeah.
I think that's probably where his role.
Stir it up.
If he can find a way to score goals and be just a third, fourth line menace to other teams, I think he could easily show his value in the league, and probably doesn't end up in Utah next year, but maybe ends up somewhere else. So good for him. I like to see players, especially, I think as a dad, I'm like, players with kids, I'm like, they've got a chance. Go prove yourself, and then hopefully end up in a better situation in the future. So I like it. I think we were going to go over
if you have
projected lines.
If you have time.
I don't think the lines change from with this signing at all.
No.
I don't either. But I think pretty much last year it was O'Brien or Carone kind of switching off as the healthy scratch. We had Bortuzzo maybe too.
Yeah.
Who was healthy scratch a couple times.
Bortuzzo is a defenseman.
But I just mean like as the scratches.
Yes, yeah. But Keller, Cooley, Guenther is my first line. Mm-hmm. And then I think Schmaltz, Hayton, Peterka is the second line. I think that's pretty clear. And then I kind of see it's hard to project where Tanev's going to be. I think the expectation that he ends up on the fourth line, but a solid fourth liner. Mm-hmm. So I'd go Krause, McBain, Kerfoot on the third line. I think we tried that combination for a little bit last season. I'm not sure it worked super well.
Yeah.
Because Doan came in and filled that
I was going to say Krause and Doan were like crushing it on the same line, but without Doan.
Yeah, so can Kerfoot kind of fill that need? That's where I'd maybe like to see a Cole Baudouin end up, is on that third line with McBain and Krause. That would be a gigantic line. And Kerfoot plays a bigger game than he is expected, but in terms of what I would want to see on the ice, I would love to see Cole Baudouin fill that third line center position. Or third line winger, third line.
Yeah, I think you could put him on the wing. I think you probably you just gave McBain a bag. I think he's staying at that center position.
He's also got experience in the league, and I think you need a center who's big and has experience.
Yeah,
Cole's got the size. Does he have the experience to just scrap in with a NHL center? I'm not sure.
I'm gonna go with a hot take there. I agree with your top two lines. I think it's more that bottom six where it's like, what is gonna happen?
What's gonna happen in the bottom six?
I'm gonna go with a hot take and say that Baudouin makes the roster, and he is on that third line with Krause and McBain, and I'd like to drop Kerfoot down to the fourth because I think you need some more technical skill set on the fourth line.
Just almost like a level-headed guy. Like he's not going to be the one to get your penalties. He's not going to like.
Well, and he can kind of play quarterback out there for the fourth line, right? Like he can handle the puck. He can run those
Our
zone
Harvard
entries.
grad.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I don't love just O'Brien, Stenlund, Tanev on that fourth line.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like there's much skill. Stenlund's got a great release. He's got a fantastic shot. I actually really like watching him play, but still.
And it was actually his center capabilities. He was winning faceoffs a lot.
Yeah, he's going to be the fourth line center. I think Stenlund stays as fourth line 100%. Center. And then you have a combination of Kerfoot, Tanev, O'Brien on the wings.
And Carone.
For fourth. Because I like and Carone. Yeah, depending on just kind of what happens. Because with that kind of contract.
I'm interested to know Tanev's chemistry with the Mammoth.
I think he's just coming in to be a rat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're on that
maybe
fourth
like
line,
him and Tanev and Carone is lethal as this rat fourth
when
line.
you're on that fourth line, you're really coming in to hit the forecheck pretty hard and play good defense. It's not like no one's looking at you to score goals, right? So it's just coming in really to disrupt and to be able to put up with, other teams' top six.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. And so I think we'll get some sort of combination, right, of Tanev and Stenlund, O'Brien and Kerfoot. I do think Carcone's a scratch. I think it'll be interesting to see who the other forwards are that make the roster day one. Like, is Boot ready? And to be honest, I don't think so. I think Boot, and I've said this before, I think Boot starts in Tucson.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he needs to still refine his game a little bit. He's just a little, clunky, and it's almost like it's like a baby deer.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just kind of or a puppy. Like they're starting to really figure out his body.
Yeah.
And he hasn't done that yet.
Still a child too. So
yeah.
But to think about like Carone or Kerfy standing next to Boot even just makes me laugh.
I think Boot will eventually get there this season.
Yeah.
And you want that as soon as possible because he's enormous. Like add him to that fourth line or that third line, and it's towering. And it's like we were talking about with Johnny. You need some size. You need someone that's going to go and battle in the crease and just be a pest and
imagine
deliver
a Boot,
hits.
McBain, Baudouin.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Lethal.
Yeah. So I think Carcone's a scratch. Maybe Yamamoto if Boot isn't ready. Maybe Yamamoto stays up. But again, I just don't love you're giving up so much size.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shorter.
We've got a small top six.
Yeah.
I think it's important to have a bottom six that can go on a bigger game.
Yeah.
And then defense really quick. I don't think much changes. You got Sergachev, Marino, Mata, Dursey, Schmidt, and Cole. I think that's going to be your bottom, your third pairing is Cole, Schmidt. And then I think maybe occasionally they do 11 forwards and 7 defensemen, just to give Simashev some minutes.
Yeah.
But I think Simashev may be a scratch just until he gets working into it, right? Just till he figures it out. I don't think we'll see him start in Tucson. I feel like he's ready. I think he's ready to go. We'll see how training camp is. Obviously, he dominated development camp. Can he come into rookie camp, dominate, and then do the same thing at training camp and really show I am ready to play?
Yeah.
You have to have me on this roster.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Vejmelka is the starter and Vanacek as the backup.
Yeah.
I think is what
and
we're
then
going to
Ingram
see.
as a third whenever his situation.
Whenever he's ready.
Yeah.
And I don't know when that's going to be.
Yeah. I don't think there's any value in even projecting when that happens. So.
Nope. Take your time.
Yeah.
I think Perunovic could be maybe that third scratch.
Yeah.
So
I expect to see Bear behind the bench. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, DeSimone too.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I changed my answer. Well, I don't even know.
This is what we talked about last time.
I know, and it gets so hard. I think your three scratches are going to be some sort of it's going to be some sort of combination of Carone, Yamamoto, Perunovic, and DeSimone.
Yeah.
I would bet Carone and DeSimone are two. Who is the third? Is it Yamamoto or is it Perunovic?
Mm-hmm.
That I think to me is going to be the battle.
Yamamoto's on a two-way. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought Perunovic was as well.
I think he is as well. Yes. So options.
And
I got options.
I would lean towards maybe this two defensemen.
Yeah.
Cole is stressing out like
I love
he's
it.
the one
But
making
then
the
alright.
decision.
But then
No,
Simashev,
it's
I
alright.
don't know. It's so hard.
I
Yeah.
But
appreciate
I
it.
like that it's hard.
Yeah.
It's good that it's hard.
Yeah. If the answers were super obvious, I think we probably wouldn't have done enough in the offseason.
Right.
So it's good that we don't have to be critical of that.
What is thrilling is that tomorrow we get a schedule release.
Mm-hmm.
I think the whole league is looking forward to that.
Yeah.
We'll be able to see what our home opener looks like, what our road trips look like. I think we're all pretty stoked on that.
Yeah. It'd be exciting.
Hopefully Shabuzi comes back. That's really all I want in the world.
I think we're good.
And looking forward to seeing what Bear decides
Yeah.
are his linies.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Utah Hockey Podcast. We're super grateful that you're here. Always submit your questions, submit your topics, stuff you want to hear more of. We are going to have some pretty cool guests in the future. So not better, equally as cool guests in the future. I think I had to say that last time too. I'm imperfect and life goes on. But thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Utah Hockey Podcast. You can find us on KSL Sports, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. I think are both figured out.
And a website and an app.
Yep,
We're
all the
everywhere.
things.
You can't avoid us.
You can't avoid us. So just listen. Thank you.
Love ya.
See ya.
Last time Tanner left in when we all went